You don't want Sharia, but you want to go to Dubai for holidays. BELLO SHAGARI. Okay, I can already predict the unintelligence that's about to come forth. Let's continue. Nigerian youth activist and documentary filmmaker BELLO SHAGARI took to his social media to talk about Sharia, and he tried to address some of the controversies trailing the Islamic religious law that governs the day-to-day life of Muslim worshippers in some northern Nigerian states. In a series of tweets on his official Twitter account, the grandson of former President Shehu Shagari claimed that 95% do not understand the application of Sharia in a secular state. Even some states in Nigeria do not understand Sharia, according to him. But why should we understand it? I don't get. We're not an Islamic state. He wondered why Dubai is the world #1 tourist and holiday destination if Sharia is such a threat. According to him, people don't want Sharia, but they want to visit Dubai for holiday. That is the most unrelated, irrelevant argument you could ever make. Have you even seen? Wait, is it? Yeah, I think from Qatar, someone from Dubai, someone from that area, basically said that what they have there, Dubai, is not even up to the resources that Nigeria has. And he said, I think that video even trended and got viral. And he says that the resources that Nigeria has is way more than what Dubai has, like times 10. However, because of how they utilize their resources and the lack of corruption, that is why Dubai is where it is today. Please, 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 please leave the Sharia law out of it, because we know it to be a state like that. And even when you're going as a tourist, you would know that, okay, fine, even if you're not if you're not from the place, you know that, okay, fine, there are certain places where you have to be covered up. You know these things before you enter the country in the first place. Nigeria is not an Islamic state, so I don't understand why. It's just confusing. Let's decide what we want then, because how can we have a whole system and body of law and then add Sharia law? Like, how does that make sense? Because Sharia law in so many ways contradicts the main law. So I'm like, why are we practicing that? Drinking is prohibited. So again, it's like there are double standards. So in some states you can do this, in some states you can't. It just fuels more confusion. It is really not that deep. Well, BELLO SHAGARI also asked why anyone would want to deprive other people of what they require in the name of secularism. He ended his post by explaining that the problem with Sharia in this country is not about the law, but about Nigeria. If you don't want Nigeria, but yet you want to go to Dubai for holidays. If Sharia is such a threat, why is Dubai the #1 tourist holiday destination? No one said Sharia is a threat. I don't know. Well, it says 95% of Nigerians don't understand the application of Sharia in a secular state. But then, if it's a secular state, I think we need to be, I don't know. And some states in Nigeria, to some extent, do not understand. But why should they, though? Okay, so someone then replied to him and says, what are you talking about? In Dubai, people are allowed to drink alcohol, club, and enjoy life openly without Isba terrorizing them. But in your northern Nigeria, the elite uses Isba to oppress the poor and go to Dubai to enjoy alcohol. And then he replies and says, smart. You see, the problem is not really Sharia, but Nigeria, as Jackson has duly noted here. Thanks, that's the point I was trying to make. Why do you want to deprive people of what they require and doesn't concern you in the name of secularism? Okay, so this was in reply to someone else who said history has shown that every constitutional attempt, whether successful or not, to introduce Sharia into Nigeria has been followed by serious religious upheavals. I hope the Southwest rejects this bill flatly and entirely, otherwise it will end in a bloodbath. Southwest is very secular. I mean, again, secular literally opposes anything of religion and like specific rules being followed. The secular is basically like everything, So again, it's just like, it is so confusing, because it's like when you have the Isba, like there comes to a situation where I think it's the power balance. Again, let's now know if you're gonna do, or if you're gonna apply Sharia law, which overrides which. Is it the Nigerian constitution or Sharia law? And I think this is where the problem lies, because in the north, there's some things that Sharia law prohibits that the normal law doesn't. And so it's like, can people not fight for their rights using the 1999 constitution against the Sharia law? This is where things get so confusing. And it's like, when people think of one Nigeria, and when it comes to these core values, people are not willing to compromise. So again, it's just like, someone, let's look at the comment section. So somebody says, upon all the money Nigeria has spent to train this boy, he comes here to display a very weak and poor sense of analysis. Exactly. And he's regarded as an elite in the region. If this is the mental capacity of an elite one can easily tell why the rank and files in that region behave and act the way they do. That is very true. I think this is worded properly. It's such a poor and unintelligent sense of analysis. Like, really? We're talking economics and you're adding politics. Huh? What? How? When it comes to the economics on how, Dubai fix their problems, that's economics only. When it comes to law and order, then you go into laws. But then it's like, how does that relate to how successful the country is, though? That don't make no sense. It really don't. It really don't. Someone says, but some of these sports children go to UK and USA for the education and holidays. Who is this Bello apart from his surname? I mean, to be honest, it's not like as if he said anything that contributes to the overall thing of Nigeria. Like, it doesn't do anything like that. Someone says he's not a good analyst. Going for holiday is not the same as living in a country. Like, I'm so baffled. Like, I was just like, here we go again. I was just like, I already knew the course of how the argument was gonna go. Like, it's so unwise. It really is, and a load of jargon, because it really is. How can you? I mean, it's so unintelligent, man. It is so unintelligent. I cannot even. I really cannot. You want to compare even when it comes to the economics of a country and how the country runs and the living standards. You want to compare the living standards of people in Dubai and Nigeria? Are you joking? And you're saying Sharia law is the cause of that? Like, are you joking? Don't get me wrong, okay? Law is to enforce order to prevent a state of anarchy. I get that. You might say that. But it's like, no matter what, human beings, no matter what law is being applied, you will always have the criminals and you'd always have people who will go against it. So technically, on paper, any type of form of government or law seems good until it's applied. So again, when it comes to how successful a country is and the living standards, it was just so poor and embarrassing. Like, come on, it's so poor. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.